the redlining and the school to prison pipeline.
This is what I'm interested in.
Yeah,
This
it's
it
it's not great. It's not great. So this is what we're
so
gonna do, Nate. We're gonna bring you in. We're gonna welcome you with song and dance. Like I said, I got my microphone. I've also got, I don't know if you're a Harry Potter fan, I've got the Elder one. I don't know if you can see it. I've got all kinds of great stuff. And I'm gonna hit you with these facts. I'm gonna bring you down. This is terrible. Then we'll rise together. Phoenix from the ashes. So be not afraid, young Padawan. We're gonna be all right. I don't know if you got the Star Wars reference there, but it's okay. It's okay if you did. Feel like in real life when we would be friends. Feel in my bones. So let's talk about the school to prison pipeline. I said that in a really cheerful, chipper voice, but it's not awesome. So this is basically referring to policies that push students, especially those from marginalized communities, out of schools and into the criminal justice system. It's typically a direct consequence of redlining. As the neighborhoods marked undesirable tend to suffer from, again, we talked about economic disinvestment. Well, when you don't have people putting money into your neighborhood, nobody wants to stay there. Property values go down, and it's your property taxes that typically fund your schools, right? If you don't have a whole lot of money coming in from property taxes, school's probably not going to be able to afford really great teachers, after school programs, stuff like that. Another thing that I would like you to consider as we talk about this, when is the last time you were like hungry? And I know that sounds silly, but like you're eating that pizza right now, right?
Yeah.
If you didn't have that pizza, and I was talking to you about redlining, you think you'd be as interested?
If I didn't have the pizza, I would be probably, yeah. Well, I'd be hard to pay attention. Yeah.
Hold that thought. Hold that thought as we go into the next slide.
I'm back with another piece of super interesting, culturally relevant research that I wish everyone knew about. Today, I'm going to be addressing this comment that I received on my most recent viral post. Anybody of any color can do and be what they want. It just takes hard work. And as desperately as I wish that were true, the science says otherwise. So I'm going to start with what might seem like an irrelevant question, but if I were to ask you, which age group is most likely to get kicked out of school, what would you say? If you said teenagers, I would understand that logic, but you'd be wrong. It's preschoolers. Preschoolers are being expelled from school at roughly 3.5 times the rate of anyone K through 12. That works out to an average of 250 children per day, and that number is predicted to be grossly underestimated. Who's getting kicked out? Who are these young children who can't stay in preschool? It's got to be the ones who are misbehaving, right? No, it's the kids who preschool teachers perceive as posing the greatest threat to their classroom. Who's that? Black boys. Black boys are perceived as posing the greatest threat to the preschool classroom. And while they represent roughly 15% of the preschool population, they are being expelled at roughly 50%. Half of the children who are being expelled from preschool are black boys. Now remember, I didn't say that it's the black boys who are being the most misbehaved. I said it's the black boys who are being expelled. There was a study done in 2016 where roughly 150 preschool teachers were brought into the laboratory and shown a video. So they were asked to watch these 4 children, a white boy, a white girl, a black boy, a black girl, to determine if they could detect any bad behavior. And they used eye tracking technology. Now, none of these children were misbehaving, but what they found was that as a group, teachers spent more time looking at the black boy than any of
Mm.
the other children in the room. They were anticipating bad behavior. Being kicked out of school when you're 3 to 4 years old changes the way that you perceive yourself. It changes the way that you perceive education on the whole. And so it likely doesn't come as a surprise that children who are kicked out of preschool are 10 times more likely to get kicked out of high school. And do you know what being expelled from high school predicts? An 800% greater likelihood of being incarcerated. Do you hear what I'm saying? The way
800?
that you are perceived by your teachers in preschool causally predicts whether or not you will go on to be incarcerated in your adulthood. And get this, do you know that the children of individuals who are incarcerated are 3 times more likely to get expelled from preschool? And so, as Dr. Gilliam so eloquently describes, we're not talking about a preschool to prison pipeline so much as we're talking about a intergenerational preschool to prison corkscrew. What's going to make it stop? Policy changes, things that have been enacted in several states, in fact, as you can see here. Changing the laws to create more equity in our community is what makes things change. So if you're someone who wants this statement to be true, you need to vote for policies that help make this become true. You can find links to the articles that I've cited here in my bio.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.